We are back. We are live this morning with Empty Netters Puckline News brought to you by BetMGM. We are back again for our live show. It is Wednesday morning. We had a Caps-Canes tilt last night and an Oilers-Vegas Knights tilt last night. We're going to get into both games, all the madness. We feel like we're taking crazy pills. No one understands what's going on. The world is upside down. It's bizarro land. Superman is dying. How the hell are you feeling?
I feel awful. I feel awful. I stood at this very bar, so sick I could barely talk last week. Snot drizzling into the microphone, Edge making fun of me. It's a nightmare. And I feel 100 times worse today than I did then.
Listen, we are in an era right now of the Stanley Cup playoffs where everyone's bracket is fucked to hell. No one has got anything right except Mandy. In the chat. We had a perfect bracket last week, I think. But so much shit is absolutely haywire, and we've got to discuss it. Guys, before we get into the games, let's talk about the Utah Mammoth.
Dude, I dare people to go back and listen. I wanted Mammoth from Jump Street. And I know everybody thought Yeti was cool, even though it was insane that you didn't know you could get the Yeti trademark.
You wanted Mammoth from Jump Street?
I wanted Mammoth from Jump Street.
You think you wanted Mammoth from Jump Street and I didn't want Mammoth from Jump Street?
You wanted Yeti.
You wanted Yeti.
Oh, my God.
And then
dude.
I was the one who told you about the Yeti foot patch on the Avs jerseys, and I said we can't have two Yetis.
You did bring that up, which was a tremendous point, and why I'm glad it's not Yeti. But I definitely wanted Mammoth the whole time because that's my favorite ski mountain, and I thought it would be cool.
You think there's anything in this world you know about that I don't fucking know about? Come on,
dude. Look at this.
Tusk up.
Tusk up.
Tusk up. Dude.
Who? That's so sick.
I love it. I'm going to say that the two of us, we were on Mammoth early. We were on Mammoth early and often. We both wanted Mammoth from the jump. There was the Yeti snafu.
Yep.
I get it. It's a very important cup. It's a very important cooler.
Yeah.
Looks like you can't have that as your name. Mammoth was always the answer. I love the logo. We're getting some chirps on Twitter, people saying that the logo looks like a generic EA Sports NHL create a team logo.
Okay.
You know what? I don't think that that's true. I just think people are programmed to...
well, that's all we see now these days.
It's just like AI logos. That's the game these days, folks.
And the mountains are sick.
It's sick, and I'm pretty sure they're specifically Utah mountain ranges.
That would be dope if that's...
They're specifically Utah mountain ranges.
Yeah, I can see Alta there. I can see that.
the tusk is big enough to be mammoth. That was a big thing. There's a huge difference between an elephant tusk and a mammoth tusk, and that's a large tusk.
Yeah, okay. I buy that.
I really love that they're keeping the diagonal Utah for the away jerseys.
I was going to say, was that exactly what they wore?
Yes.
So they didn't even change that at all.
So like that's almost an homage to the
hockey club
inaugural season, and I love that. So we've got the Clubbers jersey on the away sweaters, and we've got the new logo. I love the state patch. Either way.
Okay, hold on.
Good stuff for Utah. We finally got jerseys. This is big.
Where is the M, dude? It says there's an... Here are the Easter eggs, Dan, okay?
Wow.
It said... Also, dude, they went with mammoth singular, not mammoths plural, because it symbolizes one team all in and all of Utah. Do you like that?
Say it one more time.
We went with mammoth singular rather than mammoths plural because it symbolizes one team all in and all of Utah.
I love that.
Okay, here are the Easter eggs.
Utah is mammoth.
The snow-capped Wasatch Mountain Range makes up the top of the Mammoth Head. We all saw that. The silhouette of Utah and a negative space M are hidden on the left side of the logo. Okay, where is that, dude?
Find the M.
The silhouette of Utah and the negative space M. Oh, I think it's right here. Yeah, there's the M.
I see. It's on the left side.
I think that thing is Utah, right? Like, isn't that what Utah looks like?
Yeah,
that little guy right
it's
there.
all in one. Like, that is the state of Utah.
Yeah,
and then also
okay, that's pretty sick. And then the curved tusk is meant to evoke the letter U for Utah. Tusks up is the team-endorsed rallying cry for Mammoth fans.
Sick. Boom.
I like it, dude. I like it. I wanted Mammoth. I'm happy about it. And I still like the colors. The colors are gas. They were always gas.
The colors are so good. I love it. Producer Edge in here was just saying he loves Hockey Club. And as we remember, Sean Dursey, when he came on the pod, he loved Hockey Club. I hope people aren't upset that Hockey Club is gone. And I like that we still have the jerseys. But ultimately, Mammoth is cool.
Mammoth's cool as hell, dude.
It was never Outlaws.
Edge is crazy, dude. Edge is
wasn't
crazy.
There like a snake one at one point?
It was
Venom.
Venom,
right?
Venom. Fucking
like that would have been crazy. That's like what's that roller movie? Rollerball from the 90s.
Yeah,
is that a
I think
movie?
so.
Edge, you should know that. Yeah. Chris something. That feels like one of the team names in that. So I'm glad we went with Mammoth. This is great. All right. We came here for a reason, folks. We're on this live for a reason. Let's get into the games last night. We had game 1, Caps Canes in Washington, an OT snooze fest? Or barn burner?
No. Yeah. That game, dude, not to jump ahead, but Bruce Cassidy said something that he was like, game 1s are feel it out games in a series, which I know is true, but it's kind of like, dude, we don't have time to feel shit out. Like, we got to go right now.
Yeah.
So I love it and I hate it, but I have never felt like I know less than watching the 3 game 1s that I have seen so far in round 2. Like I am completely befuddled by every single thing that has happened.
Yeah.
I said Canes in 7, and I was like, I just think the Canes, except at goalie, have a little bit more going everywhere. And then it looked like they were playing a fucking high school team. They were playing a tune-up game in Rochester, dude. That's what it looked like. And PK, I think, someone on the broadcast was like, the Capitals should be embarrassed that they would ever do that to their home fans after the season they had to come out and do that. I don't want to go that hard. Like, I don't think they need to be humiliated with themselves, but holy fuck, that you feel terrible coming out of that game if you're the Washington Capitals.
I totally agree. And you're so right. I feel as though this is a situation, and I'm not saying that, no one's picking either team here. I think we were split on both these both these series. So it's not like things are completely off the rails, but I don't think either of these games went the way people thought. So it's either one of these situations where the game 1 happens and then game 2 and on happens and things go back to what people expected. You're like, oh, classic game 1 blip.
Yeah.
Or this is just going to tennis back and forth of complete and utter nonsense. I'm not prepared for either scenario, truly. And I couldn't predict either scenario because as we've seen these playoffs, I feel like no one knows what's going on at any point, and it's absolute mayhem. Now, I agree. This was a disastrous game for the Caps. Canes, I feel like you have had the scoring buzzing a little bit, and you probably would say similar, like, well, we weren't scoring like we can and like we probably should. But if you were the Caps and you look at how this game shook out, you are not pleased. And I will also say, I feel like we saw that in Carbs. Carbs post-game, he was snippier than I've ever seen.
Agreed, dude.
Like, he was
awesome.
like, I don't want to fucking talk about anything. Like, 14 shots in this game.
Yeah.
What are we doing? The shots, phenomenal.
Pandemic.
Is fucking mental in these playoffs. The way teams are just not shooting the puck, because that's what I can't get over, and that's what I'd love to get into. I dare anyone to go back and watch the full game of any game in these playoffs. They're not situations where, oh my God, the other team's defense is so suffocating. They're boxing out the net so well. They're blocking a million teams are actively not shooting. Mm-hmm. They're getting so cute. They're throwing an extra pass. They've got 2-on-1s where they're like, I got to force this pass over, and it gets blocked. And that is where I'm like, after a half of a fucking period, dude, when you have like one shot, or in the next game we'll get to 0, start fucking throwing the puck on net, dude.
Especially because, and not like this is unique to these playoffs, but look at the goals that are going in on elite goalies, dude. Like, pucks bounce weird. It's playoffs. Everything's going to the net. Everyone's a little nervy. That is That's how you score. But you get in your head, oh, scoring's tight, so I need to score a perfect goal. And I'm like, no, it's actually the exact opposite. Scoring's tight, everyone's tight. Get shit going to the cage. And it is a little bit of the defense, obviously. But it's you're 100% right. When you get it, things have to be going that direction. I think it's a possession thing, dude. People are like, well, we just got it. Like, I just got the puck. I don't want to just like get the blue and fire it on the cage.
Yeah.
I want to build a little bit here, cycle the puck, get some possession. But I need way more, especially when teams are losing, dude. I think that's my biggest takeaway. When teams are down and it's just that nothing is going to the net, I'm like, dude, you can't win this way. You cannot win this way.
Yeah, we went into this series thinking that this was going to be a bit of a goalie duel. We said that we've got, LT playing incredible, Frederick Anderson playing really incredible, and he was back in net. We saw two good goalie performances. Again, only 14 shots from the Caps, so not a ton for Freddie to do. That said, LT out of this world.
Dude, if you are the Caps, I have a couple spin zones here. And if you're the Caps, you were going to win this series because LT stepped up to it like a whole. He has been, here you go, chat. He's been fucking nails all season and playoffs. Yeah. But he needs to go to win the series. I think he needs to go one more step. Yeah. And the good news is that's exactly what he did in game one. He was fucking incredible. Agree. And the Canes lost last year in the playoffs in this round. Yeah, in this exact round for the same reason. They ran into a team that they were better than then, but that team had the far superior goalie, or that goalie was playing far superiorly, and then stole the series from them. Yeah, and the Caps can replicate that if LT plays that way. So actually, if you're the Caps, I think you go, hell yeah, dude. Keep doing that. Keep doing that, and we money.
Man, we had some Caps fans in the DMs losing their shit last night. And listen, I get it. It's your team goes down at any point, you don't feel good. But I think you should feel fantastic because there were so many turnovers from the Caps last night, really sloppy. They were 0 for on the power play. You hate to see that. Just like nothing was clicking. And again, I don't think it was a, holy shit, the defense of this Carolina team is like nothing we've ever seen. Now, Carolina fans, don't take that as me saying that your defense is not good. It absolutely is. You've got the best defenseman in the fucking world, on planet Earth, in this universe on your team. But I am saying if you're the Caps, you go, who is probably our Conn Smythe guy? It's LT. And he played Conn Smythe hockey last night. Yep. So I think you go, all right, LT is still locked in. We're fine. We just got to start scoring.
Yeah, and I almost want to go, too, for the Canes. I think you maybe go to bed with this thought as the Caps fan too, where you go, dude, the Canes were playing a Devils team that we all kind of thought would be a sweep or 5, which it was. So all the credit to them. But all of those were super tight. 2 double OT games. I felt like Jersey was hanging around in every one of those games, to the point that if I'm Capitals team, I go, dude, they can't score. That team can't score. They can't score. That's what I'm yelling, dude. And then I go, see, they didn't do it against the Devils. They didn't do it against us. Now, granted, I think they would go, we're playing Markstrom and LT. Get fucked, dickhead. You score on Markstrom. He was out of his mind. He made 50 saves. And I'm like, yeah, true. And so did LT. Like, what were the Kane shots in that game?
I think 33.
33,
31 saves and 33 shots.
So, yeah, they're like, dude, we've been playing great goalies. Get off my ass. But I just think that if you are the Capitals, you go, dude, that team hasn't been lighting it up the way they maybe could have. I'm gonna check goals for record in the league this past year.
I like that. While you do that, I want to talk about one man that I just mentioned, Jacob Slavin.
Yep, the All-Father.
The All-Father. Bow to him. Although someone said in our DMs last night, don't bow to him because all he would want is for you to bow to Jesus. And
correct. Dude,
it's true.
We actually
He's a man of God.
We were doing headlines, and with Loop, everybody follow Glue Guy. If you're not following Glue Guy, we were doing headlines with him after Slavin had the OT winner, and we were writing jokes that were like, God, or something like that. And then Dan and I were like, actually, I think Slavin would get so mad at this.
He won't like this, dude. He's like, there is one God. I want to talk about Jacob Slavin, and I want to say this man is, in my opinion, the overall best defenseman in the NHL.
Yeah, fact.
A lot of people are going to be like, Cale Makar, sir. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Cale Makar is a better offensive player. I think overall, Jacob Slavin is the best defenseman in the NHL. The shit that he does blows my mind every single game, every single time I watch him play. And I want to ask you this. We see big moments, big stages open people's eyes to players all the time across sports. You see it in soccer with the World Cup. You see it in things like the Olympics. And I believe we saw 4 nations happen. We saw the entire continent, as well as Sweden and Finland, obviously, dial into this tournament in a big way. And a lot of U.S. fans started watching and they were cheering for Team USA. A lot of different markets. And all of a sudden they saw a guy who plays for a small market team that they probably haven't ever paid attention to. And they went, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this number 74? Who is this monster eating pucks, controlling the breakout, dominating the PK, being our
honoring
workhorse?
the father.
The all-father, Jacob Slavin.
Yep.
That's who it was. Do you think, much like TJ Oshie with his shootout performance in Sochi, do you think 4 Nations was a coming out party for Jacob Slavin for the rest of the world to understand how good he is?
Dude, absolutely. And Oshie has said many times that Olympics changed his life, changed his career. You know, I joked with him when the first time he ever came on. I was like, do you have any idea how many American dudes after that Olympics were playing their NHL franchises and immediately traded for you? Just like whatever team they're from and root for, they just traded for you because they were like, that was sick and I love him and you're affordable. But it was like that absolutely changed his life in a way that only those stages can do. And as much as I have missed watching international hockey as a fan of the sport, I've missed those things happening. Like that's the true tragedy of not getting guys to go play in those tournaments. So I couldn't be happier that type of hockey is back and that we are watching it happen to Jacob Slavin immediately right in front of our eyes.
Wow. I love that. Yeah, I think I think he is just beyond special. So I believe we both had this series going 7. It's so hard to choose. I think that these teams are both so good and so fun. So I can't wait to keep watching. I am curious to see what the responses are.
Yeah.
Because Cap's response, I think, is clear. You need more shots. You need to get the offense going. I'm not really entirely sure what the Canes' response is. You got 33 shots on net. You won in overtime.
Dude, you hit like 6 posts or something. Like they have like a record. I think they've hit 12 posts so far in the playoffs. It's leading the league. Like it is batshit insane.
We keep talking about, and they came out super hot. They started the game better, even though they went down. So we keep talking about all these, the Caps shouldn't worry. The Caps shouldn't do this. The Caps shouldn't do that. They're fine. They just need to get into their game, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of here saying the same thing for the Canes. I don't think they should worry. Obviously, what would they be worried about? They're up 1-0. But you don't need to do much. Yeah, you want to score more than 1 goal in regulation. You're going to need to if you're going to win this series. But I think you feel great if you're the Canes. And here's something that I really like. There's 2 ways to look at this. Someone just said this on Twitter. People didn't see this at the end of the game. Aho and Wilson got into it face-to-face.
Someone said this in this chat, too.
Willie snagged Aho's mouth guard out of his mouth. Someone on Twitter just said, Aho wasn't phased at all, and that's when I knew that the Canes would win this series. I am here to tell you, beware underestimating Tom Wilson, because Montreal fans underestimated Tom Wilson.
Yep.
There was the little bench brawl after the game at the Bell Center, and people were like, oh, baby, Anderson's in Willie's head. It's over. This is a series now, and blink, the Caps win in 5.
Yeah.
So just beware underestimating his ability to get in people's heads. But I do love that Aho didn't bitch. He just kind of smiled and was like, all right, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
So I think we saw some tomfoolery and ballyhoo in this series during the season. We saw the hip toss from Chatfield.
Oh, yeah.
A lot
Good
of
call.
nonsense. You could see a little bit of antics brewing in this series in that game 1, but it was game 1. They're feeling each other out. I think game 2, after a really bad performance from the Caps, they're going to come in and they might get scrappy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, it was Josh in this chat that said that. I don't know if that was him on Twitter too. Jared said the Ryan Leonard breakaway in the third would have been electric. He'll get one in this series. I love the take, and I also thought that was going to be an all-time moment for him. That was actually kind of weird. I felt like he just didn't shoot it. Like, he went to the backhand and then didn't get it off, and I was like, oh, he got grabbed by the stick or whatever. But watching the replay, I'm like, what happened, dude? I feel like you might have had him there. But that was a burst, and I loved that. This, in terms of response, Dan, the Capitals, it's always weird when the home team loses game one because it's easy to let off if you're Carolina a little bit. You don't even mean to, but you're like, well, we got our game. It's fine. Obviously, you want to go up 2-0, but it's easy to just kind of let off a tiny bit, and then the home team is coming so fucking hard because they're like, they're treating this like an early Game 7 for them. They're like, we can't lose this fucking game at home. So I expect the Caps to be way better. Oh, and I checked, by the way. The Caps finished the year second in the league in goals for, and Carolina was 10th. So I'm like, you believe that you have goal scoring on your team.
No doubt about it.
So you're like, we need to push. Freddie just got back. We had fucking 13 shots. Can't happen. We have the goalie advantage, so we need to have the shots advantage because that's how this is going to work. That's how the hockey math works in our favor. So I think the Capitals are going to punch very, very hard.
Got to.
Yeah. And I am entering, though, like you had even said, if the Panthers lose another one in Toronto, I'm still not waving the flag on that series by any means. I don't know that the Caps want to lose this game in Carolina and still go, we're fine. It's all good.
I don't think you say we're fine. It's all good. And yeah, man, it's, that was not the performance you want. And you do sort of have that naive belief of you only scored one goal and you lost 2-1 in OT. But when you have that low of an amount of shots, you have the ability to go, dude, we didn't even test Freddie. So what the fuck? Who cares? What you don't want is to put up 35 shots next game and lose.
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose that naivete. But also, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. Nothing fucking matters until someone loses at home. Literally nothing. So if they go down 0-2, do you feel good? Of course not. But you don't panic because you just win 2 at home and
no.
It's 2-2.
They're home.
Sorry. Yeah.
They're at home and they're about to dump their second at home.
Yes. Sorry. Jesus Christ. That is obviously bad. And yeah, nothing matters till you lose at home. You've lost at home. But if you lose 2 at home and you feel like you're the better team, you're like, just go win 2 there.
Yep.
And that's where I'm like,
Carolina wasn't that good at home this year.
Yeah, and it's also one of those weird things. Like, I just completely contradicted myself. Good fucking -1 on the day.
Just kidding.
Dan.
They were actually disgusting at home. That's right. They were tied with the Kings. So yeah, you're fucked if you lose this game too. That's my new take.
Okay, so you think they're fucked?
Carolina had tied the Kings with the most wins at home this year.
I think
you don't want to go back down 0-2 going into their barn.
For sure. But if the Caps think they're the better team and you do go down 0-2 and then you go into Carolina and you win that first game, I think they now go, you're dead. You thought you were so good at home, we just beat you. You're dead. We're going to win 4 straight.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the attitude. That's definitely the attitude. And you're right about if you've got the fucking you've got the goalie edge in your brain right now. You're like, we have that absolute weapon in our back pocket that LT's the guy. If you go and get stonewalled by Iceberg in game 2 and you lose that belief, then I think you're in real big trouble.
Yeah.
But I am officially saying that this series, because I had picked Canes, I think they're better. I think this series is done quicker than we thought if the Canes win game 2. Yeah, I won't be picking them to win game 2.
I don't hate that take.
That's what happens.
I don't hate that take. Like, honestly, you're right. Like, this is, Caps at home.
Yep.
And I think if you lose... It's definitely heavy pressure. I think my official take is going to be if you lose game 2 and you completely flip around your play, tons of shots, offense is, maybe not scoring goals, but working, and you lose, or even worse yet, let's say you lose 5-4 and LT gets leaky, then I'm like, oh, you are fucked.
No, if any of the dynamic changes.
But if it's a game just like this, I almost feel like it's...
And you win?
No, and you lose.
Oh.
I think it's just like Bruins Canucks 2011 Stanley Cup when you're like, dude, whatever. Like, these are two awful performances from us. We can easily turn it around.
I just think the road part of it fucks you. Also, good stat, Rod the Bod as coaching the Canes, 8-1 in series when they win game 1. Very interesting. I think, though, someone in the chat, check me on this. I think they won game 1 against the Rangers. Like, I think that's his one loss. Did they win game 1 last year?
I don't think so.
Or no, they went down 3-0.
Yeah,
right?
like they
almost reverse swept.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's not his one loss.
Swept again.
Yeah, that would have been epic.
If anything has taught me anything in this series, or excuse me, in these playoffs, is that all these records don't mean fuck all. Mm-hmm. I feel like every game we see a new record about something, and then it means nothing. So I'm like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. But I think a tough spot. You just ride LT, dude.
Yeah.
That's my mission. Ride LT, get more shots.
Perfect segue into the point I just made. I'm back. The Vegas Golden Knights against the Edmonton Oilers. Moving on to the next series. Vegas Golden Knights in regulation, in overtime, in their entire history, went up by 2 goals, 26-0. 26-1
So you make that 26-1.
So records don't mean shit,
dude.
In these playoffs.
I meant to go get the fucking clown noses. I should have got one. Imagine I have a fucking clown nose on, because that's how I feel right now. I need to tell everybody that I am in shambles about this series, both emotionally and mentally and physically, frankly. On the pod yesterday, I picked Vegas in 5, and I had said, when I picked Vegas in 4 against Minnesota and Vegas won game 1, I knew immediately it wasn't 4, just watching the game.
Yeah.
When this fucking game started, dude, I was 10 minutes in. I was like, this is Vegas in 4, and they are so much better than this Oilers team. It's fucking comical. And that's all. And then the second period happened, which is so inexplicable. I can't even begin to process it. Even if a team is better than you, which the Oilers are not, that shouldn't happen. Let alone you playing a team that you are better than, and you are just getting pummeled into oblivion. Cassidy's doing his intermission or mid-period interview, and he's like, "Yeah, we completely lost the thread of what we were doing, and now we can't get a shot on goal, and we've let them back into it." And it just like it felt inevitable from that moment on.
Dude, I have gone on multiple rants about this Oilers team.
God damn, dude.
I've done it on Twitter. I've done it on the IG stories. And I keep saying that word, inevitable. I am going full Thanos with this Oilers team. They are inevitable. There is nothing you can do. And the frustrating thing about this team is they don't make any fucking sense.
Yep.
They will be so outclassed at any moment. And Oilers fans were coming into the mentions last night being like, dude, it's insane. It's a roller coaster. It's like the whiplash that we have as fans. Because you will pop on a game, and that first period you go, how did we even make playoffs?
Yeah.
Like, we are fucking awful. We have Stuart Skinner, who's been yanked permanently, and Calvin Pickard, who is like borderline out of the NHL, is now our starting goalie in the second round of the playoffs. How are we even here? You're getting ragdolled so badly. And then, boom, all of a sudden the entire game changes. And like we keep saying, that second period, one fucking shot. You've got a backup goalie in net, and the Vegas Golden Knights throw one puck on net. Tough strategy, dude. But it's like we keep saying, it's not like, oh my God, this Oilers team just woke up, they flipped this switch, they're beating the shit out of you. You can't even get into the zone. That's not what was happening. They were absolutely controlling the play and beating this team, but it was just it's this bizarre, it's like they have a kill switch on the bench and they can just discombobulate the other team all of a sudden, and everyone forgets how to play. We saw it with the Kings.
Yep.
Truly, it's not even like you're getting beat down. It's like they hypnotize you and make the other team forget how to play hockey. It is truly remarkable. And the thing that I've noticed that actually blows my mind the most is the rope-a-dope that they do. The thing that this Oilers team does that I'm starting to figure out, and I'll say starting to figure out because I don't know shit, because this is genuinely the most confusing hockey team I've ever watched in my fucking life. But the rope-a-dope that they do, that is, they will play all four lines. They will roll all four lines, and they will go through the depth, and they will go through keeping fresh legs, trying to wear you down. And then all of a sudden you blink, and McDavid and Leon are on the ice together. And that's when all of a sudden you're hemmed in. And there is no team in the NHL that is more dangerous than this Oilers team when they have you hemmed in. When you are watching this team play, whether you're rooting for the other team or rooting for them, the second they get more than 20 seconds of in-zone time,
it's in your net.
You go like this. Oh, they're scoring.
Yep.
It is the weirdest feeling as a hockey fan watching and going, I can tell that a goal is coming here. It's absolutely insane. And what's crazy, dude, is in that third period, Vegas gets a power play. They don't score. I popped on the bird and I said, Vegas doesn't score and you have now lost. And it was immediate, dude. Like Vegas is controlling the play, but they don't score on that. And all of a sudden, Edmonton just starts doing their thing and bang. Leon scores, then bang. Connor Brown scores, or Hyman scores. Connor Brown scores another back-breaking breakaway. Like Connor Brown, the breakaway playoff fucking king. It is unbelievable how just mind-warping this team's gameplay is.
I couldn't agree more, dude. I have a ton of stuff to address in the chat here. The super line. I'll start with the super line thing. It's absolutely bonkers to me that they put up a stat that was like the Kings in games 1 and 2, maybe even game 3, Leon and Connor played together like 8 minutes or something. And then the rest of the way they played together about 18 plus minutes per game because they were like, let's just put them together. The only way that makes any sense is if those two are so moronically good that you literally can't stop them together, which is proving true, and you don't murder their second line of Kane, RNH, and Hyman, because that should be the punishment. Because that's the reason they don't play together in the first place, is that they were like, well, we need some balance. Because obviously if we loaded them up, teams would obliterate us the rest of the way. And then not only is no one obliterating those other lines are scoring. Like, it is absolute insanity that I can watch this happen over again.
You got Scory Perry going too, dude. It's if you're the other team, I can just only imagine how infuriating it is to play against this team.
But this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people are saying it here. Connor Brown, Jack Hyman being super physical. I couldn't agree with everyone in the chat more, dude. It's absolutely wild. So I'm trying to find this Declan one. Declan had a comment about the Oilers' depth, and it's kind of like I did a deep dive last night when I was prepping for this, where it's like you look up teams with 10-goal scores, right?
I do want to just say something you just said. I think Hyman was something like 0.8 hits per game in the regular season, and he's now at 7.2 per game.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they are changing the way that they're playing.
So it's like you look up their depth scoring, right? 10 goals or more. And the Oilers, it's not like they're not leading the league. Like other teams had 12 guys at 10 goals, 11 guys at 10 goals. I think the Oilers had 9, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 teams that had 9. So it's not like the Oilers depth narrative is, I think, the most confusing thing for me, because I'm out here banging the drum that they have no depth.
Yeah.
And Oilers fans are banging the drum that they have so much depth, and they are proving to be right, because this is the metrics, like this is what's happening. They're getting these goals, but it makes no sense to me, because they don't have depth, but to be completely fair, their depth is stepping up.
Yes.
Whereas other teams who literally
Good
have better depth aren't stepping up. So I guess you do in this psycho narrative, but it's baffling.
Well, like we said, there are Oilers fans who jump in the DMs, who jump in the mentions, and they go, why is everyone underestimating the Oilers' depth? They're acting like they've got 29, 97, and 2, and then just a bunch of fucking pale workers. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying we're in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And when you look at depth and you compare teams, they don't really seem to match up. Connor Brown, going from to last year to this year, he is a playoff dog, and that is huge. But don't forget, this guy scored 13 goals in the regular season. Like that's a great, serviceable fourth-line player. But when we're talking about comparing depth, like, let's not act like this guy fucking scored 25 goals this year. That's why it's not an insult. It's actually a compliment and a testament to the way that their depth is stepping up. Like we said on the episode that came out yesterday, dude, members of the Kings said, The fact that we lost that series because of depth scoring is unforgivable by us.
Yeah.
And I think I agree it is. But again, that is not a knock on the Oilers. It's in fact a tire pump that the Oilers' depth is just completely shoving it in everyone's faces and outperforming. Out-kicking their coverage, as you say.
Especially, Dan, when, again, and somebody in the chat, I'll have to scroll and find it, somebody was like, Pickard was the best backup goalie in the league. That's not true. And here's the facts. I don't care where you rank his this season performance. Here are the facts of the matter. You have a goalie, Stuart Skinner, who is a per the numbers, below average starting NHL goalie. And you have Calvin Pickard, who backs him up because he is worse than Stuart Skinner. And that is the goalie that is in the playoffs right now, that is stopping teams who are finished better than you in the regular season, who have more talent than you up and down the roster.
Yeah.
And dude, that sounds all like a chirp. That is a massive credit to Calvin Pickard. He's doing an insanely good job in the playoffs. I just think that's a frustrating thing if you are the teams playing them, because you're like this, how is this happening? Yeah. How could this possibly be happening?
For sure. It's remarkable. We'll get into Vegas here in a second. We can stop scrambling our fucking brains like a porridge in our skulls right now about this Oilers team. We'll get into Vegas, but I do want to say this team, first team in NHL history to win 5 straight playoff games in a comeback.
It's insane, dude.
And that is just yet another thing to show this team makes no sense.
Yep.
They are, and if you're an Oilers fan, I actually can't tell if this is incredible or if it's exhausting. I could see it being exhausting.
It is,
because this is a good transition into the Golden Knights as we break this down. I am now officially in the camp of I would not be shocked anymore if the Oilers swept this team.
Keep going.
That's it. That's not me saying I think it's going to happen.
Yep.
It's me saying I am so confused by everything about this fucking team that I'm like, if that happened, I would be like, okay.
Yep. So, okay, to address Vegas to address Vegas, I would say they do this during the regular season, and they've done this in the playoffs so far already, which is not a good trait. They vanish for stretches. Like they literally disappear, forget how to play.
Yeah.
So just as quickly as they lost their game in the second period, I would say after the peeper that they didn't score on in the third, they had a great finish to the third. So it's like they can get it back just as fast. So credit to them or put it this way, not credit to them, that they can watch film and go, there's the game that we need that's better than this Edmonton team and we'll be okay. Petrangelo, sick, right? Everybody's sick, dude. Nobody can play sports. Everyone's
what are
unwell.
People getting?
Dude,
can we talk about that?
He's ill, dude. He's ill.
Who the fuck was shitting his pants last year? Someone on Detroit.
Yeah.
Someone was shitting their pants, dude. Had diarrhea dripping down the leg, and we were like, "Listen, dude, we're going to shine a light on diarrhea.
Yep.
It's a serious issue."
Yep.
So if Petro, you had some diarrhea, it's okay. But I need guys to stop getting sick in the Stanley Cup playoffs and missing games.
But dude, but Petro missed. But Shea Theodore is a dog and got walked by Connor Brown. So like, whatever, shit happens.
Put a leash on him and take him for a stroll, because that was a walk.
Yep. Ekholm's out too, so I don't want to be like, oh, it's not fair. Petro's more of an impact player than Ekholm at this point, but
definitely
both out. Dorofeev out. 35 goals, something like that. Like maybe the leader in power play goals.
Two devastating.
There's guys out. Yep, that we're missing. So I think if you're Vegas, you go, I think we're getting those guys back in game 2. We feel good. We feel fine. We think we can win in Edmonton. But dumping that game when you have the 10 minutes you have and you go up is terrifying because of what this team, this Oilers team, has done. And I kind of wanted to walk it back this way, where you go, well, the Kings choked them. We don't do that. That's some Kings bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I go, no, dude, you do that because that's this Oilers team's bullshit.
Correct.
And you can't
They
stop
make you
them.
choke.
Dude, it's actually, when I said I was discombobulated, I'm so now, like, I will never doubt or question the Oilers again within any series or any game. because they've earned that.
Why do you think I picked them to win? Like, as we talked about, I think this Vegas team is objectively better, just like the Kings were objectively better, but it just is how they play. I want to bring Dr. Locks in. He's in studio. Pop in here, dude. Tell us what you think. I do want to give my, actually, I won't forget. I have one really good thing to say. Locks, how we feeling, dude?
Dude, the Oilers, they play possum. And they come from the back, they sneak up on you, they ambush you. It's like you don't know what happened. You're sitting on your couch, you're still confused on where things went wrong. I'm done fading the Oilers. We were in bed with the Kings, we were in bed with the Knights, and the Oilers, it's like Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter. It's like at some point, it's inevitable that these fuckers are just going to come back, whether if it's pulling their goalie or by any means necessary. They don't give a shit about the first two periods.
At all, dude. At all. I said that that was what I was saying with the rope-a-dope, and that Mahomes comp is so fucking perfect. They make you think that they're dead.
Yep.
All fucking game.
And it does not matter.
At all. Dude, someone said, and I think this is one of the greatest comments I've ever heard. Someone said on Twitter last night, in order to beat this Oilers team, you need to play damn near perfect for 60 minutes. And in order for them to beat you, they need to play well for 5 minutes. And Correct. It is so accurate,
Correct.
dude. Like, literally all they do is just suck ass all game. And then they go, let's just turn it on real quick and win. And they do it.
It's unbelievable. I still have hope for the Knights possibly in this series. I probably sound like a fool, but I think they're still going to put up a little bit of a fight. Outside of that, there's 2 games on tonight. I don't want to throw off your guys' cadence with this, but
no, we need it. This is perfect. This is
there
perfect.
There are 2 games on for tonight.
Let's talk about action tonight.
And talking about action for tonight, whatever comes out of my mouth, the opposite will probably happen on the ice.
Fade.
That's how it's going right now. So whatever teams that come out of my mouth right now next, you should be happy if you're on the other side or a fan of that team. So with that being said, I absolutely love the Dallas Stars tonight.
Okay.
To win game 1 in Winnipeg. 2 teams coming off 2 Game-7 series that were absolutely fucking unreal. But I just think the Stars head to toe, top to bottom, are the better squad, and the Panthers even up the series.
Wow.
But I wouldn't be shocked if the Leafs make it 2-0, and then everyone's like, oh my God, Leafs year, they're going to do it. And then they blow the series. But
I actually kind of think the Leafs are going to win tonight for exactly that.
Yeah.
Like, just the script writers could just be making it real intense.
So I love the Stars more. And if the Panthers lose tonight, live bet, take the Stars to win the series down, the Panthers to win the series down 0-2.
Yeah, I love that. All right, book it. Good. Leafs win, Jets win.
Someone wants to know who the Nerfy is.
Nerfy. Yankees game. Just take the Yankees game, Nerfy, which will now go Yerfy, guaranteed. It's Dylan Cease. It's Dylan Cease and Max Fried.
We are so cold. We're also cold on empty netters. We need an empty netter tonight.
Empty netters. Dead. Everything. Dead, dude. Give us this. The Stars are winning tonight. The Stars are winning tonight, and the Panthers even up the series. I don't give a shit, dude.
I love it.
Give us those 2 teams.
Boom. Book those. Locks. That's I love the appearance.
Caps dead.
Dead, dude. Knights dead.
What the fuck happened to the Caps? You lose OT at home?
1 goal.
I knew this was going to happen.
14 shots.
And now the series is over.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare, dude. We are so dead.
Like, Caps were, they can't die because they're never alive.
Oh,
that was bad. That was a bad one.
All right. Do you have anything to say on Vegas before we close out here?
I think I'll just say that you stay the course, I think, if you're Vegas, and like you gotta. They've had a good PK. You just gotta keep playing your game. You just gotta keep believing. I sound so defeated, just because I'm just shocked. I think. But I gotta be honest, dude. There's if I'm in that locker room, it is hard to not have an inkling of fear setting in that you won't admit to anybody, but you do. And you always say playoffs still reactionary. If Vegas wins game 2 5-0, then you're like, see, we're fine. Like, everybody will swing that it's like not a big deal at all. But if you play another barn burner. Dude, if you go up 2 goals again and then the Oilers tie it in the third and then you win game 2 in overtime, I'm like, you're dead. You're dead. Because they're indestructible.
Agree. I
think they were always the cockroaches, dude. I think it was actually always them.
I think, but see that's not that. They're the possums.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
What's a more dangerous animal that plays possum? It's like the light fish in Finding Nemo. They can lure you in, or it's the thing from Gladiator. Dude.
Yep.
It's the snake.
Yeah.
It's that snake that lies still and lets people nibble at it, and then slowly it kills. That's literally exactly what it is. I'm going to find that scene from Gladiator. It is that serpent that lays still and lets people literally take bites out of it, and then you get full and lethargic, and then it turns around and fucking kills you. That is exactly what this Oilers team is.
That's incredible.
So our closing on this series is, I think it is what that I wish I could remember his name, but that shout out on Twitter, it is true. Like Vegas Golden Knights, do you want to win this series? You have to finish the fucking game, dude.
Yeah, correct. Dan.
I mean, what did we just see the Kings do? Like they go up every game and then they just cannot finish. You need to play 60 minutes of hockey. That's that's it. Like game 2 is what the Kings did. You played 60 minutes of hockey and you beat the shit out of this team.
Yep.
You need to finish the game if you want a chance. Otherwise, the Oilers are fucking sweeping the series.
But dude, the Oilers, someone, I think it was Hyman. Hyman said after, and Draisaitl said this after maybe the Kings series win. He said they both said the belief is here in this locker room. And somebody, I got to try to find it. Locks was here. I lost thread of the chat, but somebody said something about just like the Oilers. This team was 1 game away from the Stanley Cup final, and you're surprised they're winning. Yes, I am, because they are worse. Like this Oilers team is worse than last year's Oilers team. They would tell you that.
Yeah.
And the other teams around them are better, and Oilers had a tougher path starting now, really, because no offense, Kings, but you just did the same thing you always do. But this Oilers team has, maybe it was from last year, I don't know, but this Oilers team has this like complete armor built into them where they're like, it doesn't matter. We are going to win, period.
Yeah.
And God, that is a special feeling, and it is propelling them to heights that I was formerly shocked by, and I will now no longer be shocked by, because officially I am like, it's the Oilers Cup to win, or the Oilers Cup to lose starting right now, according to me.
Yeah, I think the path is so clearly there. All right, folks, tonight we've got Game 2, Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs at Scotiabank. We've got Game 1 up at the Wall.
Oh, my God, dude.
Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars. The people of Winterfell are pumped for round 2. Cannot fucking wait. We're going to jump into all that. We're going to be recording late night tonight after the games, as we always do. So you have a podcast episode bright and early. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, folks. Make sure you follow us on all socials. Let's keep this train rolling. Also, CP, show them the sweater, dude.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Check out the Empty Netters Hockey Club sweater. We got that in t-shirt and long sleeve as well. We've got tons of great stuff like our Rink Rat shirt. Guys, pop on the store. Link is in our Instagram bio. Link's in our Twitter bio. Check out all of the sick merch. Grab some Empty Netters merch for this playoff push. We've got team-specific gear coming out as well. It's going to be a blast.
Are you going to say your picks for the games?
For tonight?
Yeah.
No, I'm done with this. I'm done doing that.
Oh, really? Because you're just going to be wrong? Is that what you mean?
Actually,
and Jack wants some player props. We got to give him something.
Okay. I like Toronto tonight. I do. I think with the whole Stolar stuff, I think
he's out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think with the Stolar stuff, I think just the momentum and the vibes up in Scotiabank, I think Florida is going to be a little rickety going to this game. So I got Toronto tonight, and I also love a Mitch Marner goal. And I am going to roll with locks. I think I like Dallas in this Game 1. I think it's going to be the emotional exhaustion of that Game 7 for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
That maybe they just drop one quick one. But I going on the other side, I don't hate a Kyle Connor goal. I feel like Kyle Connor
has been nuclear.
And then for Dallas, give me a Dutchy goal. Give me a Matt Duchene.
Ooh.
He's been buzzing all over the net. He hasn't tucked one in a little bit. I like a Duchene goal.
Okay, I kind of like that. Ranton has been so hot, but I just like that play. They have that Wyatt Johnson on the power play thing cooking. I might take a Wyatt goal, but I'm actually, Dan, I'm going to, so here we go, dude, pick your loyalties. I might actually go exact reverse. Dallas just loves losing a game one. They don't like anything more in Dallas.
They hate them. They hate game ones.
Than losing game ones. So I might go Winnipeg game one with no stress at all if you're Dallas, because you just go, whatever, dude, that's how we work. And if you are the Panthers and Stoley's out and you played like a bag of dick in game one, I just got to believe that you can go into Toronto and win this game.
God, you played so bad.
It was crazy. So I'll go Panthers and Jets and give me the Wyatt goal. Yeah, give me the Wyatt goal and give me I'm between a Matthew Tkachuk and a Verhaeghe. And Verhaeghe I think he scored like 4 and 5 of the Tampa series, and they play better when he's going. Give me Verhaeghe. Give me a Verhaeghe goal. I like that a lot.
I love it. All right, folks, buy some merch. Join us on all the socials, like we said. Subscribe. We love you guys. Love doing this. We'll be recording tonight, so you got that episode in the morning. And, until we see you next